Folks, she's craving you, and she's hiding it on purpose. My friend, most men miss this because they're waiting for a clear confession that never comes. You feel the tension, then you doubt yourself. She holds eye contact, then looks away. She steps closer, then acts casual. Her voice gets softer, then she changes the subject. And you start asking the wrong question. Does she like me, or am I just imagining it? Here's the better question. What does her behavior reveal when her words stay guarded? Psychology says desire leaks through patterns, not promises. And Stoicism teaches you to watch those patterns without getting pulled into neediness or games. In this video, I'll break down 7 signs a woman is secretly desiring you, plus 3 bonus signs that most guys overlook. You'll learn how to read her proximity, her nervous tells, the shift in her tone, the flicker of jealousy, the way she leans in, and the touch that lasts a second too long. More important, you'll learn how to respond like a grounded man so the attraction grows instead of collapsing. If you've been stuck in mixed signals, this gives you clarity and a clear next move. Stay with me, because one of the later signs is the difference between being the guy she flirts with and the man she can't stop thinking about. Let's get into it. Sign 1. Her eyes hold you. Let's start with the one signal she struggles to control the most, folks. Her eyes. My friend, when a woman is secretly desiring you, her eyes will often reveal it before her words ever do. Mature women, especially the kind in their 40s, 50s, even early 60s, have learned how to manage their expressions. They can keep their tone neutral. They can keep their posture composed. But the eyes are harder to discipline. Here's what you're looking for, not just eye contact. Plenty of people make eye contact. What you're watching for is the hold. The second, longer than necessary. The look that lingers after the conversation pauses. The glance that comes back when she thinks you're not paying attention. Let me give you something concrete. Mark is 58, confident, recently retired from corporate life. He meets Linda, 55, at a small wine-tasting event in Denver. The room is relaxed. Conversations overlap. When Mark speaks, Linda maintains eye contact just slightly longer than normal. When he finishes a sentence, she doesn't immediately look away. There's a quiet pause. Her eyes soften. Then she looks down, almost as if catching herself. That micro moment matters. Later that evening, Mark notices something else. He's laughing with another guest, and across the room, Linda glances over. Not once, twice. The second time, her gaze stays a beat longer before she turns back to her group. She never says anything flirtatious, but her eyes are tracking him. Let's be clear about the psychology. The eyes are tied to attention and emotional engagement. When someone desires you, their focus narrows. Their pupils may subtly widen, their gaze slows. It's not dramatic, it's quiet and controlled, especially in women who don't want to appear too eager. And here is where most men go wrong. They either stare back too intensely, or they panic and look away too fast. Stoicism teaches observation without overreaction. You notice the pattern, you don't chase it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Her gaze is outside your control. Your reaction is not." When her eyes hold you, your job is simple. Stay steady, return the look calmly, don't smirk, don't escalate too fast. Let the tension exist, because that tension is the point. When a woman's eyes linger, she is testing safety. She is asking without words, "Can I sit in this moment with you?" If you rush it, you break it. If you stay grounded, the connection deepens. Watch for repetition. Does it happen more than once? Does it happen during silence, not just conversation? Does she look at your mouth briefly before returning to your eyes? These are not accidents. They are small leaks of desire. And here's the deeper layer, folks. If she didn't care, her gaze would be efficient, polite, quick. The hold is what separates interest from attraction. If you've experienced that moment where her eyes stay just a second too long, lock it in below. I notice truth. Stay with me, because the next sign shows how her body starts drifting closer, even when her words stay guarded. Sign 2. She drifts into your space. Let's look at something subtle but powerful, folks. When a woman is secretly desiring you, she will find ways to close the physical gap without announcing it. I'm not talking about obvious moves. Mature attraction rarely looks dramatic, especially with women in their 40s, 50s or beyond. Desire often shows up as positioning. She places herself within your orbit. She adjusts her body so she faces you. She shortens the distance one small step at a time. Here is the psychological truth. Proximity is intimacy's quiet gateway. We naturally move closer to what we're drawn to. When she drifts into your personal space even slightly, it signals comfort mixed with interest. Now pay attention to the difference between coincidence and pattern. Anyone can end up standing near you once. But if she repeatedly finds reasons to be beside you, to sit closer than necessary, to walk at your pace instead of ahead or behind, that is deliberate. Maybe you are in a group conversation and she subtly shifts her chair so her knee is angled toward yours. Maybe during a networking event, she circles back to stand near you after speaking with others. Maybe she slows her steps so your shoulders nearly align as you walk. These are micro-adjustments. They are rarely accidental. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you immediately assume nothing, you miss the signal. If you immediately assume everything, you create fantasy." Stoic awareness sits in the middle. You observe the repetition. Here is where most men make a mistake. They respond to proximity with sudden escalation. They lean in too aggressively. They touch too quickly. They break the slow rhythm she is creating. But when she drifts into your space, she is testing safety. She is checking whether your presence feels grounded. If you remain composed, you give her nervous system permission to relax. That relaxation allows desire to grow. Epictetus reminded us, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." In this context, first learn the meaning of what she does before you react. Her body is speaking before her mouth ever does. Notice her feet. Notice her shoulders. Notice the direction of her hips. Attraction often shows up in alignment. Her body angles toward you even when her words remain neutral. That alignment is instinctive. Let's be clear. If she were indifferent, she would maintain neutral space. She would keep polite distance. She would not adjust her physical positioning to match yours. The drift is subtle, but it carries weight. And here is the deeper layer. Physical closeness increases tension. Tension increases awareness. When she chooses proximity, she is accepting that tension. She is willing to feel it. That willingness is desire in early form. Your role is not to force the next step. Your role is to hold steady. Relax your posture. Keep your tone calm. Let the space between you shrink naturally. If you have noticed this quiet drift before, claim it now. I stay aware. Don't go anywhere, because the next sign exposes the nervous signals she cannot fully hide when attraction starts taking control. Sign 3. Nervous energy around you. Let's talk about something that confuses a lot of men, folks. When a woman desires you but is trying to hide it, she may not become smoother. She may become slightly nervous. That surprises most guys. We assume attraction makes people calm and confident. In reality, desire raises emotional stakes. And when the stakes rise, so does tension. My friend, nervous energy is often one of the clearest leaks of hidden attraction. Picture this. David is 59, grounded, self-assured, not flashy. He meets Monica, 56, composed and socially confident. Around others, Monica is articulate and steady. But when she's speaking directly with David, small changes appear. She adjusts her necklace while talking. She smooths her hair more than usual. She laughs a little quicker, then pauses as if replaying what she just said. At first glance, it looks like nothing. but when the pattern repeats, it becomes something. Let's break down the psychology. Attraction activates self-awareness. When she feels drawn to you, she becomes more conscious of how she appears in your eyes. That awareness can create subtle nervous tells. Fidgeting, a shift in posture, a slight blush, a quicker inhale before speaking. Now here is the key difference. This is not social anxiety. It is selective nervousness. She may be completely relaxed with others, but around you her energy changes. Take another example. Rachel is 55, confident in her career, used to leading meetings. Yet when she's sitting beside a man, she feels chemistry with her tone softens, and she momentarily struggles to find words she would normally deliver effortlessly. That tiny hesitation is not incompetence. It is emotional charge. Let's be honest. When someone does not care, they remain steady. There is no extra energy, no spike. Indifference feels smooth. Desire feels electric. Stoic awareness helps you here. Instead of over-analyzing every movement, you look for contrast. Is her behavior different with you than with others? Does she suddenly become more aware of her body? Does she tuck her hair behind her ear repeatedly? Does she shift in her seat when eye contact holds a little too long? These are unconscious signals. She is not performing them. Her nervous system is reacting. And here is where most men ruin the moment. They interpret nervousness as discomfort and pull away too fast. Or worse, they become nervous themselves and break the tension with unnecessary chatter. Stay steady. When David noticed Monica adjusting her bracelet repeatedly while holding eye contact, he did not call it out. He did not tease her about being nervous. He stayed relaxed. His calm presence actually reduced her anxiety over time, allowing the attraction to deepen instead of collapsing. Let's call it plainly, folks. When her energy feels slightly charged around you, when she seems both composed and subtly unsettled, that is often desire trying to stay contained. Watch for repetition, watch for contrast, and most of all, control your reaction. If you've seen this kind of shift before, anchor it below. I read energy. Stay with me, because the next sign reveals how her voice changes when attraction starts softening her guard. Sign 4. Her voice softens. Let's tune into something most men completely overlook, folks. Not what she says, how she says it. When a woman is secretly desiring you, her voice often shifts before her actions do. The words may stay neutral, the tone does not. It softens, it slows down, it becomes warmer, more intimate. That change is rarely intentional, it's instinct. My friend, the female voice carries emotional information long before a confession ever happens. Around people she feels neutral about, her tone stays steady, efficient, social. But around a man she's drawn to, subtle changes appear. The pitch lowers slightly. The pace becomes slower. The volume drops just a bit when she speaks directly to you. That drop in volume matters. When someone lowers their voice in your presence, it creates a private space. Even in a crowded room, it's a subconscious move toward intimacy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When her internal state shifts toward attraction, her tone absorbs that color. She may not touch you, she may not lean closer yet, but her voice begins to carry warmth. Listen carefully for contrast. Does she sound different with you than with others? Does her laughter become softer and more controlled? Does she hold certain words longer when speaking directly to you? These details are quiet but powerful. Here's where Stoic discipline becomes critical. Most men either ignore this shift or react too strongly. If you suddenly lean in, lower your voice dramatically, or over-escalate, you break the natural rhythm she's creating. Instead, hold your ground. Epictetus reminded us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Her softened tone is an invitation. Your reaction determines whether it grows into deeper tension or fades away. There's another layer here. When a woman feels desire but is trying to hide it, she may soften her tone during specific moments only. Perhaps when you're speaking about something personal, perhaps when the conversation shifts away from surface topics. That selective softness reveals where her emotional investment sits. And let's be honest, folks, mature attraction does not shout. It whispers, especially among men and women in their 40s and 50s who have learned restraint. That whisper in her voice carries more meaning than exaggerated flirtation ever could. Pay attention to breathing as well. Attraction can subtly change breath patterns, slight pauses, a slower exhale, a moment where she holds eye contact while finishing a sentence. These signals often work together. But remember this, you are not analyzing to control, you are observing to understand. Stoicism teaches awareness without attachment. You notice the shift, you remain centered. If you want to sharpen your ability to read these patterns at a deeper level and understand how to respond with precision instead of guesswork, consider joining the membership community. Inside, we break down these dynamics step by step so you can move with calm authority instead of confusion. Now, anchor this in your mind. When her voice softens, something inside her is relaxing around you. If you recognize this shift, claim it below. I hear truth. Stay with me, because the next sign exposes how a flicker of jealousy can reveal feelings she hasn't admitted yet. Sign 5. A flash of jealousy. Let's address something men often misread, folks. When a woman shows a brief flicker of jealousy, it is rarely about drama. It is about value. Now, I'm not talking about emotional outbursts or possessive behavior. Mature desire does not explode. It flashes, quick, controlled, almost hidden, but if you're paying attention, you'll see it. Picture Greg, 61, confident, composed, comfortable in social settings. He's been spending time with Evelyn, 58, independent and emotionally reserved. One evening at a dinner gathering, a younger woman laughs a little too loudly at Greg's joke and lightly touches his arm. Greg stays relaxed. He doesn't escalate it. Across the table, Evelyn's expression changes for just a second. Her smile tightens. She straightens her posture. Later, she casually asks, "So how do you know her?" The tone is calm, but the timing isn't random. That's the flash. Jealousy in its subtle form reveals attachment. If she felt nothing, there would be no reaction, no shift. Indifference stays smooth. Interest reacts. Let's break down the psychology. When a woman begins imagining you as part of her emotional space, competition activates instinct. Even if she hasn't admitted her feelings to herself, the possibility of losing access to you creates tension. But because she's hiding her desire, she won't confront you directly. Instead, she'll mask it. She may tease you about having fans. She may become slightly quieter, or she may suddenly increase her engagement, leaning in more, asking deeper questions, reasserting connection. Let me give you another example. Kevin is 54, recently back in the dating world. He's been seeing Michelle, 51, confident and careful. During a group event, Kevin mentions a female colleague he works closely with. Michelle nods politely, but her follow-up question comes a little sharper. You two spend a lot of time together. It sounds neutral, but the energy shifts. Later that night, Michelle stands closer to Kevin than usual. Her hand briefly rests on his arm while speaking. That proximity isn't coincidence, it's reassurance. Now here's where Stoic strength matters. When you see that flash of jealousy, you don't exploit it. You don't provoke more of it. You don't over-reassure in a needy way either. You stay grounded. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her jealousy is her internal event. Your job is to remain stable. If you tease her harshly or try to make her compete, you damage trust. If you panic and over-explain, you weaken your position. Calm confidence is the right response. Subtle jealousy is a signal that your presence matters. It means she's emotionally invested enough to feel threatened by alternatives. That's not insecurity. That's attachment forming. Watch for patterns, not isolated moments. Does her attention sharpen when other women show interest? Does she subtly reclaim your focus afterward? Does her body language become more territorial without open confrontation? These are controlled leaks of desire. If you've witnessed that brief shift before, anchor it below. I see the signal. Let's keep going, because the next sign reveals how her body slowly leans toward you when desire begins outweighing restraint. Sign 6. She leans in, slowly. Let's get honest for a minute, folks. A woman can hide words, hide feelings, even hide desire behind a calm face. But when her body starts leaning toward you slowly and repeatedly, something real is happening under the surface. This is not the obvious lean-in you see in movies. It is gradual. It shows up when you're talking, and she closes the distance without noticing. It happens when you pause, and instead of filling the silence, she drifts a little closer. It happens when she laughs, then stays near, as if she doesn't want the moment to end. Why does this matter? Because leaning is a decision made by the nervous system before the mind catches up. When someone feels neutral, they keep space. When someone feels drawn, their body seeks contact, not necessarily touch, but proximity. And for a woman who is trying to keep control, leaning in is the safest way to taste intimacy without admitting anything. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her lean is an outside event. Your reaction is where your power lives. Most men react in one of two weak ways. They either freeze and get awkward, or they rush to escalate and ruin the tension. Stoicism teaches a third option. Stay composed. Let the closeness exist. Do not chase it, and do not fear it. Listen to the timing. She leans in most when the conversation turns personal, when your voice lowers, or when you say something that shows depth. It is less about hearing you and more about feeling you. A softer voice invites a closer distance. A meaningful topic invites a more intimate posture. And when she is attracted, her body follows the invitation before her words do. There is also a pattern to the retreat. She may lean in, then pull back a little, then lean in again. That push and pull is not a game. It is self-control wrestling with desire. She wants closeness, but she does not want to look eager, so she takes a small step, checks your reaction, then adjusts. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In real life, that means you do not try to look clever in the moment. You do not point out her behavior. You do not joke, "Why are you leaning in like that?" You stay calm and let her feel safe. Your steadiness becomes permission for her attraction to grow. Seneca wrote, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." When she leans in, your job is self-conquest. Keep your posture relaxed. Keep your breathing slow. Keep your smile subtle. Hold eye contact without staring. Let the tension build without turning it into pressure. Here is the payoff, my friend. When she leans in slowly, she is signaling comfort, curiosity, and a desire to be closer to your presence. If you respond with calm authority, she will lean in again, and next time it will feel even more natural. If you've noticed this sign, write this below: I hold presence. Stay locked in, because the next sign reveals how touch becomes the clearest clue she can't fully hide. Sign 7. Her touch lingers. Let's close this the right way, folks. Touch is the signal that crosses from curiosity into physical awareness. And when a woman secretly desires you, her touch does not disappear quickly, it lingers. Now understand this clearly. Friendly touch is brief and functional. A quick tap on the arm, a polite handshake, a passing brush that ends immediately. But when attraction is present, the contact changes. It stays a fraction longer than necessary, not dramatic, not obvious, just enough to register. That fraction of a second is everything. Picture James 56, steady, composed, not easily rattled. He's been seeing Maria 52, independent and emotionally careful. During dinner, Maria laughs and places her hand on James's forearm. She could pull away instantly. Instead, her fingers rest there for just a moment, longer than social habit requires. Then she withdraws slowly, not abruptly. Later that evening, as they stand outside talking, Maria adjusts his jacket collar. The movement is gentle, personal. Her fingertips slide lightly across the fabric near his chest before dropping back to her side. She does not comment on it. She does not make a scene. But the contact wasn't necessary. That is desire testing the air. Here is the psychology behind it. Physical touch activates chemistry immediately. The nervous system responds before the mind forms a narrative. When a woman is trying to hide her feelings, she may resist obvious flirting, but her body will look for subtle ways to connect. And here is the pattern you must watch. Does the touch repeat? Does it become slightly more natural over time? Does she seem comfortable staying near you afterward instead of stepping back to reset distance? When James remained calm, Maria's touches increased slightly in frequency. A hand on his shoulder when making a point. A brief squeeze of his hand before walking away. Nothing bold, but consistent. This is where many men lose control. They interpret the first lingering touch as permission to escalate immediately. They grab her hand. They move too fast. They break the slow rhythm she is creating. Stoic strength is different. You acknowledge the contact naturally. You maintain eye contact. You do not stiffen. You do not rush. You allow the moment to breathe. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Her touch is outside your control. Your composure is not." When you remain grounded, you create emotional safety. And safety deepens attraction. Let's be direct, my friend. A woman who feels nothing avoids unnecessary physical contact. She keeps boundaries firm. When she chooses to cross that boundary repeatedly, even subtly, it means you matter in a physical and emotional way. Watch the combinations. Does her touch pair with softened eye contact? Does it happen during meaningful conversation? Does she seem slightly more aware of her body afterward? These are not accidents. They are controlled leaks of desire. If you've experienced that lingering contact before, claim it now. I feel the tension. Stay dialed in, because what ties all these signs together is how you respond with calm presence instead of pressure. Sign 8. She mirrors your rhythm. Let's step into something more psychological now, folks. When a woman secretly desires you, she doesn't just move closer or touch more. She begins syncing with you. She mirrors your rhythm. Mirroring is subtle. It is not imitation. It is alignment. When attraction builds, her body language, speech pace, and emotional tone begin adjusting to match yours. Not consciously, instinctively. Here's what that looks like. If you speak slowly and calmly, her speech softens and slows down. If you lean back in your chair relaxed and grounded, she gradually mirrors that posture. If you lower your voice, she lowers hers. If you laugh lightly, she matches the energy instead of overpowering it. This is not politeness. Politeness keeps distance. Mirroring reduces it. Psychologically, mirroring signals comfort and subconscious bonding. When someone feels drawn to you, their nervous system starts syncing with yours. It's the body's way of saying, "I feel safe here." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When she is emotionally focused on you, your emotional state begins coloring hers. If you are steady, she becomes steadier. If you are tense, she may grow tense as well. Attraction amplifies awareness. Now here is the crucial distinction. Mirroring only matters when it is selective. Does she mirror you more than she mirrors others? Does her body subtly shift toward your posture during one-on-one conversation? Does her texting pace start matching yours instead of being random? Pay attention to breathing patterns too. When you pause before speaking, does she wait? When you slow down, does she follow? These micro-adjustments reveal emotional tracking. Epictetus said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." Applied here, first learn the meaning of what she does before reacting. Mirroring is not a cue to escalate immediately. It is a cue to remain steady. Many men sabotage this sign. They exaggerate their movements to test whether she copies them. That turns instinct into performance. Attraction thrives in authenticity, not manipulation. Instead, hold your natural rhythm. Speak with intention. Sit with calm posture. Maintain a grounded presence. If she is drawn to you, she will gradually align. Let's be clear, my friend. A woman who feels indifferent does not adjust herself to match you. She stays in her own lane. When she mirrors your tone, posture, or pace repeatedly, she is entering your emotional frame. And this is powerful. Because rhythm is intimacy without touch, it creates harmony before physical closeness even increases. The deeper layer here is leadership. If you are emotionally reactive, she mirrors instability. If you are centered, she mirrors calm strength. That is why Stoic composure is so attractive. It gives her something solid to align with. Watch for consistency. Watch for selective alignment. Watch for the way conversations start flowing more smoothly, almost effortlessly, when your energies match. If you recognize this dynamic, anchor it below. I stay centered. Stay focused with me, because the next sign reveals how she starts creating small, private moments just for the two of you. Sign 9. She creates small moments. Let's look at something that feels small on the surface but carries serious weight underneath, folks. When a woman starts creating small, intentional moments with you, desire has moved from passive to active. This isn't about grand gestures. It's not about dramatic confessions. It's about subtle shifts in environment. She finds reasons for it to be just the two of you, even if only for 60 seconds. That's not random. Picture Michael, 55, grounded, not flashy, comfortable in his own skin. He's been seeing Teresa, 52, socially confident but emotionally measured. They're at a friend's housewarming party in Chicago. The room is full, conversation buzzing. Yet twice during the evening, Teresa finds a reason to pull Michael slightly away from the group. "Can you help me grab something from the kitchen?" she says. It's simple. Once inside, the noise fades. The conversation slows. She maintains eye contact longer than she did in the living room. Her tone softens. The energy shifts. Later, when everyone steps outside to the patio, she lingers inside for a moment and asks Michael about something personal he mentioned days earlier. Not loudly, not for attention, just between them. Those are small moments. Psychologically, creating private space is a sign of selective investment. Public interaction is safe. It spreads attention evenly. Private interaction concentrates it. When she chooses concentration, she is choosing intimacy in controlled doses. Now look for repetition. Does she slow her walking pace so you naturally fall behind the group together? Does she text you something small while you're both at the same event, almost like creating a private channel inside a public setting? Does she lower her voice and step slightly closer when others get distracted? Those patterns matter. Here's another example. Daniel, 58, steady and observant, is getting to know Carla, 54, composed and emotionally reserved. During a networking mixer, Carla moves confidently through the room. Yet every 20 minutes, she circles back to Daniel. At one point she says, "Let's step over here, it's quieter." Once they shift to the side of the room, her posture changes. She angles fully toward him. The conversation becomes slower, more personal. She created that pocket. Let's be clear, my friend. If she felt neutral, she would stay in the safety of the group dynamic. Creating a one-on-one space carries risk. It signals preference. It signals focus. This is where Stoic composure matters. When she engineers these moments, don't overwhelm them with performance. Don't fill every silence. Let the space exist. Hold eye contact. Keep your posture relaxed. Allow the tension to develop naturally. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In these small moments, being grounded matters more than being clever. Small, private spaces are rehearsal rooms for deeper connection. They allow desire to test itself quietly. If you've experienced her creating those subtle one-on-one pockets, anchor it below. I see intention. Stay present, because the final sign reveals how silence itself becomes electric when desire has nowhere left to hide. Sign 10. Silence charged with desire. Let's end with something most men completely misread, folks. Silence is not always absence. Sometimes silence is intensity, with nowhere to go. When a woman secretly desires you, there comes a point where words stop carrying the weight. The conversation slows. The air changes. Eye contact holds longer than usual, and instead of rushing to fill the space, she stays in it with you. That kind of silence is not awkward. It's charged. Here's the difference. Neutral silence feels empty. Someone looks at their phone, shifts in their seat, breaks eye contact quickly. Charged silence feels focused. She remains still. Her gaze stays connected. Her breathing steadies but deepens. The moment stretches, but it doesn't collapse. That stretch is tension. Psychologically, silence removes distraction. Without constant words, both of you become aware of what's underneath. Attraction becomes visible in micro-signals. A slight swallow, a subtle parting of the lips, a small inhale before she says something simple like, "Yeah," but with more weight than the word deserves. When desire builds but remains unspoken, silence becomes the safest outlet. She doesn't have to confess anything. She doesn't have to escalate physically. She just remains present in the tension. And this is where most men fail. They panic. They joke to break the moment. They change the subject. They look away too quickly. They grab their phone. They try to regain control with noise. But noise kills tension. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Silence is an outside event. Your reaction is the test. Can you sit in intensity without scrambling? Can you hold eye contact without staring aggressively? Can you breathe slowly while the atmosphere thickens? If you can, you deepen the connection instantly." Think about the moments when conversation fades naturally. You're both standing close. No one is speaking, yet neither of you steps back. That stillness is not emptiness. It's awareness. She feels it. You feel it. And she's waiting to see if you can handle it. Epictetus said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In charged silence, your imagination might tell you something is wrong. It isn't. The tension feels electric because attraction has moved beyond casual interaction. Watch her micro-responses during these pauses. Does she maintain eye contact instead of breaking it? Does her posture remain open? Does she lightly shift closer instead of retreating? Does she smile faintly without looking away? These are not random behaviors. They are emotional signals. Silence becomes charged only when something meaningful exists beneath it. If she felt indifferent, she would disengage. She would fill the space with small talk, or she would create distance. When she stays present in the quiet, she is allowing desire to sit between you. And here is the Stoic edge, my friend. You don't rush it. You don't force clarity. You don't demand labels. You remain grounded. You let the silence breathe. You let her nervous system settle into your stability. When you can hold that space without pressure, she feels safe letting her guard down further. If you recognize that kind of silence, anchor it now. I stay steady. Folks, today we broke down 10 psychological signs that a woman is secretly desiring you, even when she's trying to stay composed. From the way her eyes hold you to how she drifts closer, mirrors your rhythm, softens her voice, creates small, private moments, and even lets silence grow charged between you. None of these signs are loud. They're subtle. And when you learn to recognize them, you stop guessing and start seeing clearly. The real value here isn't just reading her signals. It's mastering your response. Stoicism teaches you to stay steady, observant, and emotionally grounded. When you hold your frame, attraction has room to deepen naturally instead of collapsing under pressure. If you want to go deeper into female psychology, relationship dynamics, and how to apply Stoic principles in real-world situations, consider joining the membership. Inside, we break these patterns down in even greater detail, so you can move with clarity and confidence. And if this helped you sharpen your awareness, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is where men build composure, strength, and lasting attraction. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow.